Vi vedrò sì.
So that worked.
I don't want to. It did?
Yeah.
Hooray! Yay! Goodness gracious. I hate technology. Oh my god. Like I'm not a fancy rich human being. Just work. I can't afford a bat cave of computers to do this.
Shooting in person was a little bit easier on the technology side. Uh, Kids and time and effort and opposite sides of a 2 county spread is just
Yeah, man. Well, but the upload time sucks too. Like the editing and then it uploads and like special anyway, it's terrible. Anyway, so continuing on to finish up, this is our part 2 of our Scream spoiler non spoiler rant. So yeah, Kirby, I just thought was wasted. Hayden Panettiere, good actress, used to be, hadn't acted in a while. Just she felt stiff. There was something strange going on with her. Like there's a couple actors in this movie that like it felt like they had a paint sprayer where there's just like they put on too much makeup. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Again, like you said, dude, it was solid all the way to a certain point, and then it again like five falls on its face. Five has a spot too where it's just like, and then this one has the same moment where they just don't know how to like. They know how to bump, they know how to set, and then it's just like they go up and they just whiff it and fall into the net, like volleyball. If you don't know,
it it's rough. What's funny is most people that I've talked to about it or have read their statements about it or whatever all have the same thing is like it was super solid until it wasn't. And that's because of how like when I say it was solid, I mean it was solid. I'm not the biggest Scream fan. I love the first movie. Outside of that, I can take it or leave it with the sequels most times. But this was like I was like this is a step in the right direction. I am entertained and fumble. Really hard fumble. Like it was like they had a list of generic endings and threw it on a wall, threw a dart, and chose the one that it hit.
right? Yeah, it makes you like most of the characters. Like I feel like now I'm on board. I'm on the ride now. Like Ortega's it's weird because like I felt like her performance was better in the previous movie than this one. I feel like she was being a little too like that detached, damaged thing, like Wednesday Adams. And maybe it's because she's plays Wednesday Adams. I see it more now, but she just felt really like more like what's her name from Parks and Rec. Oh God, Aubrey Plaza. Just kind of felt like that. That was, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but the guy who plays Sam, who I can't remember her name either off the top of my head because I'm tired, she did better in this one. I thought much better, just because she had more to do in this movie. Like she had, like we knew more about the character. We walked along with them longer. Like so that was okay. I don't know. Like the camera work is some of the best camera work in the entire franchise.
Okay.
Um,
Name either.
yeah, Barrera,
Yeah.
Barrera. I'm struggling tonight, but
Ugh.
I should have done some prep. It's been a couple weeks, and my bad. I'm going from the hip. But anyway, uh, some of the best camera work. The ghost face is vicious, and they shoot the ghost face very well. So
Yeah.
like the movie, like I said, the movie is really doing some good stuff until it's just like,
Yeah. The intensity in this film is unlike most other Scream movies. Um, I think hands down, it was strong until it wasn't. I don't know what else I can say without diving into spoilers.
last thing I'll say is that this movie overpromised and underdelivered because like the trailer's like the way it frames and says things about Ghostface and what's going to happen, what's going down, this grandiose thing. Same thing in five. Oh, look at this. Nope.
Yeah,
So
it was like they were it yeah. Nope. It was not different than before, and that's where it struggled.
soundtrack was probably the weakest in the entire franchise.
What's funny is because of how tense it was, I was not paying attention to the music at all, which normally music makes a tense situation, but in this case, the tension itself worked so well that like I was tuned out of the music and tuned into the characters, which says they were doing something right. Like that yells, "Hey, this, do more of this." But I can't speak on the music because I don't remember.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, so yeah, it's interesting. Last thing, also, I guess there's another thought I have from spoiler free. Is like it seems like if you didn't like five, you like this one better. If you liked five, you like this one a lot less. It seems like it's a one or the other.
I've
I
kind of
don't know.
I think the way Scream 6 started is what we were hoping Scream 5 would be. And I
Yeah.
think where like the disconnect in fans happens to be. I don't know. Maybe the fans of Scream 5 are more new age Scream fans versus the ones who started with Scream 1. I don't know. That'd be interesting to see a poll like an age range or what was your first Scream movie and which do you prefer, 5 or 6? Like that could be a fun poll. But
Yeah, I mean the movie's entertaining and it's fun. Like if you're not a huge Scream fan, I can't imagine you not liking this movie. You know what I mean? Like the more you love something, it seems like Five was saying, toxic fandom. The more you pick apart it, the more it doesn't live up to expectations. But the problem is like you keep building these expectations, and the problem is like we've theorized better outcomes than we get. And like I've heard some other theories. I'm like, yeah, that's great, and then we just get another Scooby Doo ending.
what's funny is the Scooby Doo ending could have been okay if done completely different. Like I'd have been like, well, that's underwhelming, but okay. Like,
Yeah,
but the way it was done, it was just like, really, this was the trick up the sleeve, so to speak. This is where we're gonna end it. All right.
yeah, and in this movie, it doesn't even double down; it triples down like the unbelievability. It's like really like I all like this? No, I don't think so.
I would go quadruples.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, okay. So that's it for our spoiler free. We definitely, I would recommend seeing it in theaters. You're gonna have a good time. It is fun. It is entertaining. It's just it doesn't live up to one and two and three, in my opinion, for sure. I don't even think it touches four, but
Well, ugh, excuse me. It is a long day. I got a long day tomorrow. I am out of it. Um, I think it is wild that I enjoyed it so much. And maybe it's also because my expectations were just tanked because of 5 that I was like, it can't get worse. And then, also tanked because of Halloween Ends. I'm like, it can't get worse. And it's true so far. Um, it was just the all the theories that we talked about with an ending would have made a better film. Almost everybody's that I've read, almost everybody's that puts out a YouTube or TikTok or whatever, their theories are so much better than what we got. And not all of them involve our favorite stew, but it just it sucks because this is this close to greatness. Like
yeah,
the movie had the potential to go there to that new level. And it was like on that stair and then complete trip and fall.
right, right. But all right, well, so yeah, check it out. We're going into our spoilers now. So if you watch this in the future, run away, child. Um, so let's just go let's just go beat for beat. Talk about highlights, ups and downs.
This is my favorite cold open. I didn't say it was the best.
Oh, dude,
That is my favorite.
stop it! It does not touch one or three.
Yes, it does.
No.
It was Ghostfaceception.
Oh,
I
jeez.
and I love the fridge, and I love dude. It was I can't like okay. Scream one is just like it's the baseline. It is the like it's the mountain. Like there's no beating it. Right there. It no. Scream two again amazing. Kind of outdoes itself a little bit campy, but it works. Scream 3, really good. The bait and switch, kind of a brilliant idea. Scream 4, Scream 5, uh, Scream 6 was like, whoa, yes. So we get a chick, um, played by Drew Barrymore, or not Drew Barrymore. Um, Caution, there's a fake out.
Samara Weaving.
Yeah. So they took a big name, put them in the opening, put her in the opening act, and killed her.
And you knew that it was coming because, like, you knew she was cast. If you were following this at all, you knew she was cast, and you knew she wasn't doing a whole lot for the movie. So unless she was a sleeper, like killer at the end of the movie, like, you know what I mean, it was something where you just knew that she was going down.
But I was okay with it, and
Yeah,
you know, turns out she's teaching slashers, which I mean that's goofy, but I'll let it go because Scream 5 kind of set up this weird like dude, there's not a college course on slashers. I mean, maybe there is an actual film school, but as far as like your regular college or community college goes, no.
yeah.
There's
Oh
film.
man, there. I think there's classes on like The Shining. Yeah, I mean just The Shining. So yeah, I think that does exist. But what's interesting to me, man, about this little like Samara Weaving, like 2 years ago with Ready or Not, also done by the same studio. Um, she was hot. So she's doing The Babysitter. She's doing Ready or Not. She did something else I can't remember, but like she's a hot commodity for about a year, year and a half. And like right as Ortega is just climbing mountains, going nuts, she comes in to Scream, and it's like almost like to me, and maybe this is just me being weird, but like it felt like with her being the opening kill, it kind of put her in a lower tier. It kind of like it was like her stepping aside from being the scream queen of today. It was almost like her admitting that like she's done with, you know what I mean? Like that's just kind of how it felt. Is like her time has passed now. This new gal's shining. I don't know. It was weird because like she was so hot for so long, and then like well not that long, but she was hot for like a couple of years, and then boom. I don't know the last thing she did.
I don't know. I can't speculate because I didn't follow her career that much, but I
Yeah,
do
my bad.
interesting that she does have a big name. She was in a Scream movie just like Drew Barrymore, and they killed her in the first act, which um your ghost face isn't the best here. But it was still a cool like I'm gonna lure you in a dark alley and then surprise surprise you're dead. That was good. It was a solid opening scene. And then it cuts to that guy going back to his apartment. This is the first time you get a reveal. Takes the mask off, and you're like, "Oh, it's Peter Parker's arch nemesis,
The
Flash."
Flash. Yeah.
And he actually, like, I dare I say, had he have had a bigger part in the movie, I think it could have been interesting because his characterization of like the goofy, like I'm kind of the wild card. I kind of want to do it just to finish the film that they were making, and this is kind of interesting. Like that's a fun angle. And then you get a ghost face call to him, and he's thinking it's his friend, or I can't. I don't remember if it was scripted as boyfriend or friend. Um, it
Roommate, I think.
yeah, and they were doing this together. They have a ghost face shrine in the closet with all their costumes, and they go and they do the kill. And they had this whole plot that involved the Scream 5 cast, right? And they get a call. Well, he gets a call. He thinks it's his friend, roommate, boyfriend, whatever, playing a prank on him. And then, fast forward to like going through the house, the cat and mouse kind of game, and he opens the fridge and there's the roommate, like mangled Terrifier style. and that's the open is Ghostface kills that Ghostface. That was awesome. That
Yeah, the the fun, hot and cold. Everybody can relate to that. Takes you back to childhood. It's fun. It really works well with Scream. I do like the shrine. Uh, it is a great scene. I think again though, the third act makes the first act a little less of an impact. Had there been more of a grandiose third act, this act would have landed more. I'm more interested in the dude in the fridge than the three at the end.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry, like, dude. Now, maybe this is me. I'm not trying to stretch here, but like, just a little bit of dialogue we get from him, right? Like he walks away, he goes and talks to Ortega and her friends that are going to the party, right? And then he goes back home, and then he's on the phone with his friend and or his partner. Let's just call partner, like his partner in crime, because they were going to be doing this together. He's on the phone with him, and he's like, "Dude, the experience of it, like the way, like the body, and like the animal, and like all that stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
didn't feel real, like that kind of stuff." I if this is the first killer we've had that is more of like a true psycho, not for fame, not because of just the movie, but like we are exploring like the depths of what they do, like the impact on them and how like it's larger than life and like taking a life. Just a little bit of dialogue he had was freaking phenomenal. And it's enforced and it's even better based on the fact that he doesn't go stupid maniacal. Every single ghost face, for the most part, goes maniacally and nuts, goofy, and it's played out and annoying.
Yeah.
Like this dude would have laid out a monologue that's just like, I use you as a reason to kill people. I don't actually even care about you. Like letting Sydney live because making it think that it's about her and it'll continue until he kills her when really he just lets her live because he just wants a reason to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like still take out some of the main cast occasionally to keep throwing him off, but like it felt fresh in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. No, I agree. And when we cover the ending, it really kind of shows how well thought out the film was until the third act. And it's disheartening because with how strong these two characters were, even though one got zero dialogue, you understand their motive, you understand where they're coming from, you understand those two are far more grounded in what would have made a better Scream film than what we got with the three at the end. Which, by the way, if you're gonna give the clue like 15 minutes in as to who it is, man, just I mean, the poster gave it away. Kind of the shrine gave it away, but then some of the dialogue really gave it away, and it just
What? How did the shrine give it away?
there's only one kind of person. Well, not the shrine in the closet, but the
Oh,
shrine
oh,
trailer. There's
I'm with
only
you.
two kind of people who are going to have that sort of a collection. You are either going to be very, very, very wealthy or law enforcement. Those are your options, or both. I guess you can do both, but you're not going to have access to that kind of material as just your average Joe. And you're
Right.
break in and get away with stealing something from a high profile case. Like that's just like that just beats all reality out of your head. And at that point, why not just go ahead and go to space? Like let's just go.
Right. So, um, yeah, yeah. It's one of those things where it's just it's too fantastical. It's too it's trying to reach an epic level of something that it just can't work. Like the shrine doesn't work. Like it's it's just too much. Like again, it rips reality right out. Like having a robe from a killer, I could see that. Like one robe. Like,
Could have seen it working. I guess we're going into it. So
oh
I
yeah, we're
could
spoilers, yeah.
I could have seen it working if Stu was involved, because nobody's going to have as much of a desire to go down that path as somebody who was actually previously involved. The character from Five being the person who wanted all that stuff, and then their dad being a cop, so that's how they got it, is like, mm,
Right. It's super lame, dude. Super lame. Dude, now it's interesting because I think that and now who knows, they'll never admit to this, but by the way, if you're watching, it's spoilers right now for Scream 6, but I feel like Radio Silence had a plan for one movie, maybe two. And I feel like we are doing all this extra crap to get to the actual reveal, the one killer we really want to get to. I feel like Halloween did it in reverse. Like they had a thought for one good movie, and then they stretched it like The Hobbit, and it just got worse and worse as it went. Like, but I think this is the other way around. Like you are like, because you got that IP, you know you're gonna get butts in the seats. You're gonna bring back some big names. You're gonna do well in that first movie because horror's hot. The second movie's still riding off the first movie was good enough, and then I think that third movie you're gonna actually see what they wanted to do originally. But that's just me. But
yeah.
so let's see. So from the opening kills, like you said, like the opening kills are good. I don't think it touches one or three, but it's a strong contender for me for the third spot in opening kills. Um, and then we go into the party where obviously Ortega is dealing with some stuff and she's just kind of throwing herself out at it, you know, drinking too much, the dangerous stuff with the dudes and stuff like that. And like, it's funny how this movie, like, I, the movie does a real, like, I don't need your help. I'm here to help. Oh, I needed help. Like, it was a well done. Like, it wasn't like she just shoved the sister away. You know what I'm saying? She shoved her away instantly, but later on was like, "Thank you." Like you know what I mean? Like normally you don't get that. You just get pissy sister all movie, or brother the whole time.
As a sibling, I think it did a really good job depicting like the dynamic of a relationship between siblings, whereas the last movie felt stale as all get out between the two of them. And then this movie was like, okay, they really are trying to repair that relationship, and it's like, so again, that's another thing that was a step in the right direction. Like I felt like their conversations mattered. I felt like their dialogue wasn't terrible. I felt like them trying to figure out how to coexist because they have that shared trauma is all logical, and them struggling with it too, one being overbearing and overprotective and one just wanting that freedom. Like, yeah, that works. I'm with it. I can sit and watch that. That's believable. That's a level of reason. um
Well, it's interesting too how the movie like kind of like everything's a hot topic and a hot button. So I'm not trying to piss anybody off or saying one way or the other, but the way she told her is like, I'm fine. I'm not drunk enough. I'm going up. And like, that dude is doing the dude thing. And like, it's, again, I'm not gonna die on a cross either way, but there's that creepy factor to it. Right. Like, I'm not trying to say anything, but it's awesome how the soon to be possibly love interest, like, and just friendship, they protect each other, like not only from Ghostface but from emotion, from other harm, like stuff like that. So I thought that moment was really good on how he, like, again, just like Sam is trying to protect her, he's trying to protect her as well. He's like, I know you don't really care in this moment, but you might care later. Like, I'd rather you be mad at me and we'll talk it out later than that. So I don't know, like, the bonds of this friendship, in respect, because I don't like them as much as I like the original cast. It is what it is. But this cast, they feel like friends that have been through some stuff, that are there for each other. They feel diehard connected. The core four, they really do feel like a group, like a strong group. Like in the original, I mean, you had the group, but like everybody but Sydney and Jamie Kennedy die in that first movie, and then Jamie Kennedy's gone in two. So right, and then you have Gail, who's over here and older than Dewey, and you have Dewey, who's over here and older and doing his thing, and then you have Sydney over here, and you introduce a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah
it works, but it's disjointed.
Yeah, and I think for a new age approach, like kind of getting everybody on a similar level, like you have the older sister and then the three who are around the same age. Like that works. That gets that group a little bit more close knit.
Right, but the older sister babysitted, and like you know what I mean, and they all went through this shared experience to where it just kind of grounded all of them together.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, like I thought college, it
College
was
was
interesting. It was cool that they all went together. It was fine. It really did feel like another take on Scream 2, followed on by the fact that they capitalized on a couple other things from Scream 2. It just kind of felt again like the movie was going back to the drawing board and just kind of picking and choosing plot elements. It's like they'll like this. This was easy. This worked. Like instead of just making your own movie, it felt like they hit plot points.
I will say that I didn't feel like it was overbearing, the Scream 2 shove in the face. Um, Honestly, I felt like there was a little bit much of it, but it wasn't distasteful. It wasn't, like I mean, what else are they? If this is the plot that you have, if you're like, okay, so where do our kids go next? Where do we want to see them next? Okay, well, the next logical step is college. Scream 2 already had college. It's already got the book. It's already like it's got some good ideas. Let's roll with it. Um, that works. Let's steal some stuff from that. Let's reference it. Um, I will say the requel sequel talk gets a little bit old in this one.
It did not land at all.
No, the requel sequel is still too. First off, it's too new to really give that big of a speech on. It's still new territory that's being figured out. Of course, Halloween has had those, but that's really about it.
Well, no requels. I mean, it goes back to Leatherface 2013, Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Requel sequels. So requel would be Texas Chainsaw 3D, but if 3D got a sequel.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so we have Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Get, I guess prequel territory would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, but that's not really the same.
yeah. It doesn't matter. It was one of those things where like the gal gave all these speeches in the first movie, and it worked because Dewey was kind of there, like on the in the. There's always rules, and then he's kind of there also to like nod along, and like it just kind of feels like he talked about rules, she's talking about rules. All they watch the stab movies. It's a big deal there, but like in this one, it just wasn't. It just didn't feel right. Like here, you messed up in the previous movie and got messed up because you weren't paying attention. Like you're not smart. You're not as cute as you think you are. Like
Yeah,
Randy got like Randy got caught off guard. Like I'm not sure like anybody in that situation would be dead. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I I I, I think with knowledge that Randy had after the first movie, I think had he been put in other situations, I think he would have been better off rather than just a pulled out of nowhere kill. But anyway,
yeah.
moving on, like so once it starts kicking off with like the therapist kill was good. The attack while they are
Convenience store.
right,
That's
that's great.
brilliant. Okay, that created more tension than any scene in any other Scream movie. And
No,
yes,
no, stop, you're forgetting about the taxi cabin too. Stop.
I'm not forgetting about the taxi cabin too.
No,
Yes,
the shotgun is there, and then they do the whole Jurassic Park hide behind the corner, the end cap. Like, no, I mean, I like it. I like it. It's solid, but come on, come on. You're in the honeymoon phase.
I hate the ending. I don't.
Hey, I do too. I do like it, but I think I'm just trying to ground you down a little bit here. Like, just come back, come on back. I do love the shotgun though. The shotgun's awesome. I think the leaving the masks at the crime scenes is super dumb.
I think it for who the killers are, it is stupid. If the killer was Stu, it's brilliant.
Right.
That's the disconnect. If you had an actual legacy killer or somebody actually attached to a legacy killer, it's brilliance. Since you have somebody that three somebodies that don't make sense, it's stupid.
Right. Well, a detective wouldn't leave clues. And I understand you're trying to point out Sam as the killer because they're the ones that got that rumor started.
Yeah.
I just don't believe you would leave clues like that, like DNA clues of taking it off your head, because it wasn't like in Scream 3 where he had the photo and he dropped the photo. You're taking that off your head. Maybe there is a mismatch of like you're wearing one, but it looks like you're wearing the other. That's just another aged mask, maybe, but that's kind of stupid. I don't know. Also, going to that real fast because I did want to touch on that. Like the whole like she's super famous and like people think that she lied to about Richie and stuff like that. Like I understand she's in New York and I understand that people probably already know her, but I don't think people would be like, that's the girl. Like in a party where like people are drinking stuff. I just don't think she's just not she's a good looking gal, but she's just not a standout face. I just don't think everybody be like, oh my God, and like throw stuff at her and do all that. For New York, I just didn't quite buy it. It felt a little heavy handed.
Especially with the way news is today, like how often do you hear about like the exact survivors of a murder situation? It's not often. And
Right. Yeah.
when it does happen, like I mean, it's the news moves on to the next thing within 35 seconds. Like it's not nobody knows who it is. Now, I'm sure like if it was like high school, you would get a lot of people who were like, "Oh, do you know who that is?" As soon as somebody found out, absolutely spread like wildfire because you were trapped in the same building without access to live your own life. Whereas in college, like it is living your own life with school there if you so choose to pay attention.
Yeah. 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 I just didn't buy that part to it. But anyway, so when we go to the house, the apartment or whatever, the house or the apartment or whatever is interesting. The boyfriend sees Ghostface from across the way and is like trying to get everybody's attention but can't. That was kind of cool. I like the sex positive roommate, like that little exchange is nice to add a new character. I thought that character did a lot better job than the other new character friend, the curly haired dude. I can't remember his name. He had no lines like in anything. He's just not important at all. He was just the character that was there because he's gonna be the killer. Like it just had nothing.
And then
But
the, the sex positive roommate gave too much, like too much.
hey, bud. Hey, good night, man. If you're passing out, you're just saying hello. Hey, thanks for coming in. Uh,
As
but
soon as you started giving that information, I leaned over. I was disposition. That's
right,
so like it. You knew you had your circle of people, and you knew who they were. Too many
yeah.
people. Um,
My pronunciation sucks, but I'm gonna say Casteller, and I'm sorry if I messed that up. But yeah, I completely agree. Like it's one of those things too. Like when I watched Scream 2 and you see like Gail gets shot, Dewey gets stabbed a bunch of times, like Jamie Kennedy is Dunzo in the middle of the movie. Like you really feel like, oh my God, this movie is really going for it. Like it went from like a oh my like it went like the gravity of it just really landed. And then you're okay with some of them surviving because you know Jamie Kennedy died. And this movie, people getting messed up and just like we'll fast forward here just for a second, but like the sister gets stabbed in the tummy and it gets like worked around a little bit and she's like bleeding out on the subway, and then all of a sudden she's at the end of the movie she's running and she's like, I missed the monologue, didn't I? Like you're not running, like you look like you were on death's doornail, and now all of a sudden it looks like you ate one of those beans from Dragon Ball Z and you're good to go. Like, it's terrible. Gail was in a safe room and she made the dumb move to get out of the safe room. Right. Mindy was once again made obsolete for the third act. Yeah.
But at the same time with Gale, like it had no repercussions. You had to get so like and that's the thing. Since everybody, I will say this though, there was some payback that was so much gore in the third act that I enjoyed it. When you get a brick to the face and then teeth came out, I'm like, wow, they went there.
Right.
Cool.
Right. It's like where we're at with the garage in the apartment where the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she falls and hits her face on the trash dumpster. I was like, God dang. The plunging the knife in the mouth at the end made me rewatch Psycho 2. I haven't seen Psycho 2 yet. I'm terrible. I've seen the remake. I've seen the first movie. I own all of them. I've got to get on that. I've been meaning to for a while now. I've had them for a while, but yeah. So I like that the sex positive thing. I like because it's and again not to get like not to get like buzzwordy or whatever, but it's just something that you never see, like in anything. You know what I mean? That spin is never put on something like that. It's just like I ain't hurting nobody. I'm doing my thing. And so, and then like, dude just gets cut up and put in the bathtub, and we never see him or anything. And then she gets super messed up, and then the intensity of the ghost face in that apartment was awesome. Like, and then I hate that all of a sudden I pull out this extendo ladder out of nowhere, which he's probably like a handyman or something where it kind of makes sense, I guess. And like New York, where else are you gonna put your ladder? But like it seemed a little weird. But like again, the third act ruins this. Like is just the height of the intensity just doesn't live up to that. And then the spin that she's one of them is like really this is super dumb. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That scene was great. Then we get the park. Well, no. Then we get the return of I cannot think of her name. Kirby. As an FBI agent, and right off the bat, the dialogue that she's given isn't great. But
Right.
it's nice to see a friendly face again. Um,
Right, and then you set her up as an FBI agent, right? You kind of give her like a leather jacket. She means business. She's smart. She can handle herself, but she doesn't really command the screen like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting. Like, I know I've gotten some flack in the past just for saying that like I didn't believe in previous movies that this little gal could do these amazing feats of strength. Um, and sorry, I just thought about Robin Hood Men in Tights. Now we have great strength and feats. Anyway, but Kirby is probably about the same height. Like we just rewatched Star Wars over our anniversary, and like Carrie Fisher was 5'1", probably 98 pounds. Like, but she commands presence and strength and a lot of attitude in that first movie, to where you don't notice her size really. Like, but in this, like, I just didn't quite buy that. Yeah, she's an FBI agent. It felt like here's a plot device, and we are sticking her in here, and we are giving her not a whole lot to do. Like her vibe was off the whole movie. And I feel bad for saying that because Kirby's one of my favorite parts, everybody's favorite parts of Scream 4. All right, hang on one second. Tara plunged the knife into Leslie Mocker is still out there, and Sam's mother or father has to make an appearance for a future film. Sam's yeah, father, not, but yeah. Her mom, yeah. I mean, dude, do something else. Do something larger than life. Like, don't go back. Don't no more family. No more like no more. No, Kirby should have found the lair. Yeah, that would have made her part better, but or yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I get that. The first act was solid, and then it all went downhill. For us, it was the reveal. Like it got a little silly too. And then yeah, Chad was intense. That part was awesome when you finally see two Ghostface. But so this movie also like the first five was like go, 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 go. Like couple kills. Oh, Tara's over here in the hospital. We got to go. Blah, 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 blah. Third act of the party. Like it was really, really fast. This one had a lot more time to breathe through like the dinner scene with the wine, with the party. Like this one had a bit more time to breathe. When we get to let's just fast forward. Let's just get to the good stuff. That third act, like the train, solid. That classic fade in and out of the shadows. I've never been on a subway like that, so I don't know if that is kind of real, but like the way they shot it was great. Where that like slow motion, like almost like Michael Myers in Halloween 18 with the floodlights or whatever, right? The motion sensors, like that was awesome to me. That was one of the highlights, suspenseful parts of the movie. I like the gas station too, and I like its intensity, but I didn't think it was as suspenseful as that part. But what do you think about like I'm in the train with hashtag Ghostface or whatever she said?
I I liked the subway scene. I did. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was tense. I think that her dialogue was a little wonky when we get, well, I guess it wasn't really dialogue. Kind of her mannerisms felt a little bit off for it, but like it was the scene that I saw coming. It was the scene I wanted, so I enjoyed it. But I think that the convenience store scene beats it. It
Yeah,
just, that's me though.
yeah. I'll have to rewatch it. Maybe I'll change my opinion on it. But I
Yeah,
do,
I
like I said, I like its intensity. I like that it does feel very different. Like it puts you on your toes.
Predator 2. And did you notice the Bill Paxton costume in there?
I did not. I did not. Hang on real quick. So the first I'm asking was intriguing, but Ghostface needs to use other things instead of phone calls all the time, hack computers, message them, monitor survivors. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like let's go. Let's get some drones in there, maybe. Right? Let's get some just random, like I know what you did last summer stuff. Like let's shake it up. Like we don't have to just be phone call voice. Let's get the Ghostface standing there and talking a bit more. We're getting that a bit more, so that's great. But I'm with you. Let's spice it up. Let's change it up. Like you don't have to just stick with the same stuff. Yeah, Friday the 13th Part 8. That was awesome. Yep, that was awesome.
Part of Ghostface in this one actually, like, I was like, because it felt right in that scene. I was like, yes, let's get more of that, and then it doesn't appear again, which was kind of.
Right. So then we go into the third act of the shrine, right? And it's cool how they do bring up the old characters of the past and like the killings, different killings, the mass and stuff like that. Like it's kind of cool breadcrumbs uh, uh like in sorry, I'm blanking. Like in 3, they try to use the kills from the script. So it kind of gives that little hook to that, which is cool. In 2, Maureen dies in the beginning, right? And her brother. Maureen and whatever the dude's name was, like, so it kind of gives it a tie to that first movie kind of a thing. You know what I mean? It's a copycat. Like, so this one kind of, you know what I'm saying? This one kind of hooks that. Um, Go Evil Dead Rise. I'm with you there, brother. So that was kind of cool. But the shrine, dude, like the drawings were awesome. That's cool. Like I would have loved to seen more stuff like that, like chaotic charcoal drawings, right? Like a shrine of like their imagination of what they would do and like trying to recreate like what happened when Billy did it, like, or something like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's just like that much stuff is just unbelievable. The murder weapon, like you got the murder weapons, you got the robes, you got like the college memorabilia stuff. That maybe some of that stuff was just a redo, but I mean, maybe all of it wasn't. Maybe all of it. Is there a line that says it's all of it, or is it like maybe the stuff that like they're refurbishing or like making? You know what I'm saying? Like they're customizing certain things to look like that.
I mean, he said that he helped them. He helped his son get all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just so far fetched. It's just so far out there. It's just so much. It's so and like in New York City, like rent's expensive. I know there's like like rundown buildings and stuff like that, but like y'all, you have an entire movie like rundown movie theater that how I don't know, bad neighborhood, I don't know, but but anyway, thoughts on the shrine and stuff? Go for it.
The shrine is immediate. Like it again. I said it would fit if it was Stu or a legacy killer, or somebody really close to a legacy killer. But getting who we got, it just is underwhelming. It was cool to see everything like kind of laid out. I'll give it that, but the payoff wasn't worth it. That should have been a special moment saved for an actual special part of maybe the next movie, or maybe just a book. I don't know, but it's kind of disappointing the payoff that came with it. I will say the violence in the third act was amazing, but the third act itself was garbage. And
Yeah. So again, like with five, we bring in the middle of the movie entry legacy characters, and we do nothing with them. Gale shows up, it instantly gets taken out, like to the third act. Same thing happens with Kirby. She gets knocked out.
yeah,
Unless Kirby becomes like an actual killer or something like that in the next movie, that is so dumb. Like, how do you get attacked and get knocked out when people are getting stabbed 16,000 times? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like in this movie, you're not getting knocked out, you're getting your throat slit.
yeah, everybody in this movie had some very fatal wounds, and she just happened to get knocked out, and it was just she did not get up again, like the song said, which was sad. But I have to say when we got the two Ghostface show up, and then the stat like that was cool. And then unfortunately, when they unmask, we see that it's the sex positive girl and the kid that they made you believe wasn't Ghostface, even though we all kind of knew it was a Ghostface. And that was underwhelming. And we all knew the cop was involved, which was just even more underwhelming. And then it was just a huge disappointment to find out, oh, he's the dad of these two, and he's also the dad of what's his nuts from part five, which is just undesirable. And also, how are you going to convince me that not one member of the family, not two members of the family, not three members of the family, but four members of this family are doing this, and it is not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film?
Right, and that's so real fast going to the part where Chad or whatever his name is. God dang it, I like these characters. I just can't remember their freaking names. But when he gets stabbed 16 times, and you see two ghost faces comes out of nowhere, we talked about this. Like, I want to see multiple Ghostface on screen. There's no reason to derobe them and demystify them, but they do it when they get the main characters. They go full Scooby Doo again. You're like, God dang it!
I
Like,
would go for an ending where we don't find out who the ghost face is yet. And
yeah,
maybe they will mystify us with Scream 7 and move into Scream 8 where, he gets the character that we don't want to die, whoever it may be in that movie. We'll say it's Jenny Ortega's character or whatever, and he's about to stab her, and instead of, the reveal and monologue, it just flashes to the ghost face mask and ends. So you don't know if she got stabbed, you don't know if they revealed themselves, you don't know nothing. That is far more impactful than the Scooby Doo villain that takes place in every single Scream film. And not to mention how awful the reveals have gotten over time. It just,
when you only put a third one in there so you could try to pull your attention away from that guy. And then you say that the daughter didn't die. Will you be surprised what a grieving detective dad can get away with? Some prosthetics, some fake blood. I'm like, no, no. Bodies are important part of evidence.
yeah,
Coroners need them. Like, they don't just get up and go away and it's okay. Like, no, no. I don't want to hear it. No, terrible, stupid. I'm not going to hear it. No, absolutely stupid. Anyway, and then the other kid, like, they go full maniacal again. Like, just it's okay. Like, it only plays for so long, and now it's overused. Like I said, that first killer in the beginning of the movie had the best. It felt like a real serial killer was talking to you, not just like I love the stab movies. It's like I want to kill people for the thrill of it. You know what I mean? Like that's the first time we really got it. It
What-
wasn't like I kill people to hide the fact that I'm trying to kill you. I'm killing people because I want to. And but I mean they were gonna kill her, but still.
And then what they're saying is the goofy stereotype from all of the Scream films is far more dangerous than the person who was like, they were no longer human, they turned into an animal. Like,
Yeah,
no, that guy is way closer to reality than the at
right.
the so I don't know. It
Yeah, hang on.
so flat.
Yeah. Whoop, hang on. I hope David F. Sandberg made Lights Out could do a future Scream film. Heck yeah, man. I think didn't he do Shazam? Yeah. Yeah, me too. I haven't seen Lights Out in a while. That's a good one though. Scream Six should have had another killer that would have kidnapped Tara and Sam go crazy to see Billy instead of herself as her own reflection. Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would do that too, where like split personality and like Billy would just take over. Maybe that's where we're going. I was kind of hoping that too, because I'm tired of seeing his reflection. Like, part of me almost wonders, like, I know she's seen lots of pictures of him, and like that's why she gets him in her brain. But I almost wonder, like, would you not see Wilson, not Owen Wilson, but Luke Wilson, who did Billy in that first movie? Would you not see the guy who played your dad instead of your dad? Because like there's actual verbal dialogue. You see them throughout the movie. You never saw you. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's a stretch, but that's maybe how my brain would see it. But now Seven is going to be a survivor therapy group. Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis on future Scream film as a therapist doctor. No, I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I respect her as an actor, but she's kind of twitchy and kind of strange. I don't know. Like she seems like a wild card these days. I don't know. All respect, but she just I don't know. Anyway, people I can't get a good beat on make me nervous. Like especially if they impact me in a real life situation. But as far as like that, I don't know because then you need to like she doesn't do things unless she gets like producer and like back like it just I don't know if it'd be worth it. Like now Nev is making a great money at Twisted Metal series and Lincoln Lawyer series. Oh yeah, and she's doing that, and she's making money from cons. Like you don't need this. Like let your character be done, and yeah, let it move on without you. Like I think you're better off not coming back.
At this point, I'm pretty sure Courtney Cox is the lead of this series. Like wherever we go in the future, which
Yeah,
she
we
just proved completely unkillable. Like it wasn't just a small glass shard. That thing was like
right, and now we're getting like he's jumping over the couch. We skipped this, so we'll hit that real fast. Like he's jumping over the couch. He takes out the muscular boyfriend with ease. Now I get it. If you hey, what's up, Gremlin? If you get your throat slit from behind and you're not going to put up much of a fight. So I get that to whatever degree, but when she gets stabbed and beat up and she's getting dragged and stuff like that and like he comes full force, full body down on her,
uh,
I'm assuming that's the dad. I don't know, but like she's dead. Like she's not going to stop her little again. She's like 40 plus years old. She's probably in great shape, but like she's 100 pounds. You're not stopping 185, 200-pound dude full force coming down at you. Like, I, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But at the same time, where I was like proud of them for maybe killing her when she survived, I was kind of happy about it. Gail is a very strong character. Has more personality than Sydney, in my opinion, has more personality than Sydney. I think she should have died in the previous movie, and Dewey should have been the guy who carries the torch and defends the new future. But
yeah.
anyway, so going back to the final act, I'm not buying the daughter, the brother. Yeah, so all three are maniacal. All four kids, all four of them are messed up. The entire family's messed up. Now, my little spin on this that I would have done would have been like a Manson family kind of thing to where like they're like fraternity or like military like that kind of brother connect that son connect. I would have done something like that to where they have a mental bond, you know what I'm saying, for this kind of stuff. And like in the fifth movie when he talks about toxic fandom and stuff like that, like maybe Richie would have broken away from that group to start his own group. Like he went out and found his own disciples because of that toxic fandom and yada yada. I think you could spin that very well. And then the leader of the group, the dad, or maybe the leader of the group in the next movie, kind of a thing. Like I would buy that a lot more than DNA. My son died. I bought all this crap for him. I'm a detective. Nobody knows that I'm his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like Richie, how in today's world, how would you be able to keep the fact that your sister is who your sister is, the brother is who the brother is, the dad who's the dad? Like, how would you keep that safe? Like, Gail's doing a book on this. You're doing background checks for roommates. Like, it's just so far out there. It's so unbelievable that these people snapped. It's so unbelievable that it would be this having all that shrine. Like, the third act just doesn't live up to anything. But like you were talking about, the violence is awesome. The hanging from the balcony, you gotta let me go. Awesome. Hands her the knife. She goes to work, right? Like the
Yeah.
dumb part though,
I don't care. The brick to the face is probably like the most awesome thing because like it except for the fact that she didn't stay down long. I'm sorry. You knock that many teeth out with one brick, you're not getting back up that quick. And then you're not going to charge a gun like that either. Like, no.
right. Right. Well, then once she gets back up and like the dad's there because she sees the son just get killed. The die a virgin line was awesome, but like the dad gets pissed and my eyes rolled so hard it turned my neck to you. I was just like, he has a gun from like 10 feet. Why are you running at her? Shoot her in the leg and then go over there and do your maniacal crap. Like, just so dumb. Let's see, real quick. Now for more vicious Ghostface, have the killer kidnap and kill family members of the survivors and lure out the survivors. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Scream 6 needed more memorable kills. Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think 5 did better with like the knife through the throat and like the quick jab with the red right hand going on. And like I think I'll yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know, man. Sam putting on the ghost face outfit. I just don't feel like in a life or death situation in that moment I'm putting that on.
No.
I mean, in the first movie, Sydney puts it on, but I think that costume was already there, and or it was on the like her dad when she dragged him into the closet, so it kind of makes sense a little bit. Plus, she's in darkness, so that makes sense. Anyway, it's fine. The ending was fine. The sister connection was fine, like that way wise. But yeah, like the whole time I'm just sitting there like,
And then the real quick red herring that, oh, we're going to say it was all Kirby. And I'm like, I knew that was coming. Like, I saw that coming. And it's not, it's a diversion because it's totally the cop. It's totally the girl and it's totally that guy. And like the the girl gave that speech about her brother being dead. The cop mentions it too. Like that is that as soon as those lines came out, I was like, yep, it's those two. And then the kid who had class, like, of course it was him. Like, and then when it's all three and they reveal their motive, it's just the biggest, just why? Why is that? Like I said, it was like they had a bunch of generic ideas, threw a dart at one that was on the wall, and that's the one they went with. Like it, I don't get it. They had so much potential to have an actual legacy killer, legacy something. It just ruined it with
tell me if my idea isn't leaps and bounds better than Scream 6. Now I said it before, and well, I don't think I said it on air, but I said it before we watched Scream 6 to you. I said that I think what would make 5 even better, like, well, okay, this one killer, if you were to insert 2 new killers in this movie, it would make 5 and this movie 10 times better. I said, make the twins the killers, that they were betrayed in the 5th movie by the other 2, right? So, like, they grew up with Sam, right? Like, no, so did what's her name, the other gal. But like, they grew up with Sam. They're there. Randy relationship. You know what I mean? Like it fits. You make them the killers that the other killers turned on and tried to kill them, and they survived. And that leads them into six. And that would be why also like why her guard was down, which would also not make that killer dialogue in the basement really wouldn't quite work. It still kind of worked. They could still be cute together. It still kind of work. But like that would be out of nowhere. Characters already established. Something you didn't see coming. It would make the Dewey kill if it was actually uh, the the brother. It would make that kill more meaningful. You know what I'm saying? It's a twist we quite haven't seen because it has time to breathe and really linger and like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. Like we've not really had anything like that. And I was just like, this is what I was banking on, and they didn't even. And I understand they're pushing the core four, so you can't quite do that. But had you pushed in Kirby a little bit better, just I think that could have molded out a little bit better. But I mean, am I crazy or is that like 10 times better than what we got?
Yeah, it is. It sucks that like pretty much most every other idea is gonna come off as better because like I can't get behind these three.
Terrible, terrible. Like, okay, the uncle did it. Like the uncle's mad now. Like the grandma. We're like, guys, come,
This movie's gonna be these people's cousins.
dude. I don't know. That's why I was just like, God dang, man. Like the cult idea is a good idea. Like message boards, they get together, like there's reunions, like they just start to kind of go crazier and crazier. And then they, you know what I mean? They feel like you could build a solid, just like these people, like the guy in the beginning.
It sucks because that felt like the angle they were gonna go for with that, and it's like, oh, they're gonna do it, and you're like, yes, yes, yeah, and then you make it about halfway through, and you realize, wait, no, 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 they're not doing that, they're not doing it. They're not gonna do it.
Right. And then again, I'm tired of the flashbacks to the dad. I'm just sick of it. I don't like that angle. I don't like that family angle. I This new DNA to this story, I hate it. So I don't like it. The dropping the mask at the end, okay. I hate that she runs up the sister twin. I hate that she runs up like nothing happened. The other brother, like we are talking about earlier, everybody survived. Like he's good to go, but stabbed 16 times. Like anyway, I don't know. Hang on, let's see real quick. Let's see. At least Scream 6 was not as bad as Halloween Ends, which is more Christine remake and Pertrude Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Dude, Caleb and I, we talk about this every time. Halloween Ends is complete gutter trashed. Like, had no idea what it was doing. Terrible, terrible movie. Good Lord. Like, we ranted and raved on that so much just because it's so like I was confused. I'm like, am I watching the right movie? Like, is this going to be a joke and they're actually going to fix this? Terrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
yeah,
it's over Fool's Day, like I don't know what's happening, and then nope, that's the movie we got. It just did not end until the ending, and it was very disappointing.
terrible. So I don't know, man. Well, okay, so we'll probably have to do a ranking another night, but like I think they said they wanted to do one more movie for their trilogy. Um, I I don't know. I just don't. I don't really care about this. Unwelcome was a. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one. I have to check that out. I mean, I don't. I like the. I like the connection. I like the vibe of the characters, but it just to like the story to the franchise. I don't care about. I want Sam to die because I'm tired of those flashbacks. Like either be a villain or die because I'm done with it. Like sacrifice yourself in the opening act and be done. But like, where do you see seven going? Is there any aha moment? Like at this point, like we want Stu to come back. Is there anything that'll actually like make these movies? Oh, you know what I mean?
I don't think anything will make all three if this does wind up being a trilogy. It's good. I think they're either going to do another generic sequel that's going to like end with this like ambiguous ending like Friday 4 where Sam or whatever her name is going to put on the suit and it's not going to end like her taking it off and dropping it. It's just going to be kind of like you make up your own mind. Is she going to be Ghostface now or not? And the killers throughout that film are going to be just as generic as the last. The alternative is they're either going to go the cult or the stew line. And with that, it will bring greatness to that movie with story, but it will probably be executed poorly because they just can't. There's no way they can do both. They cannot have a well done story and a well done movie. It's just not in their cards. Scream 5 was utter trash. Scream 6, I still stand by the fact that it was solid until the third act. It wasn't I mean, there's parts that are problematic, but for the love of God, it's a horror franchise. That's kind of what we do. Um, so,
Right.
I don't know. I have very hope, so maybe that means I'll get pleasantly surprised again, like I did with this one.
Yeah. So again, like if you're not a Scream fan, I get how some of this stuff doesn't bother you. I get it. But if you're a diehard, like this is my favorite franchise. Like
Now,
Scream 5 offended me with what it did and how it did it. Like the believability of like Dewey's death and everything else, like the situation, like all of it just it offended me. It pissed me off. Like the third act was dumb and lazy, the reveals were horrible. Like all of that pissed me off. This one, nothing happens in the movie that offends me to the point where I'm like, God, this is just so bad. I can't look away. Like I can't not. You know what I mean? Like it's like the reveal is absolute trash, and the whole movie like kind of again, I'm something different this time. Like the whole movie does hinge on that reveal, but it the rest of it was good enough and it didn't kill off anybody else unbelievably or stupid to where I can get past it enough because it was entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It offends my intelligence because I just think again, with this IP, with this much money, with this much budget, this much talent, y'all need to do better in the story department. Story is cheap. Characters, you wrote decent characters this go around. The dialogue, the friendship, nice job. Story's trash. Like, come on, guys. Like, come on. Let's see. Many recent films let down like Scream 6, Ant-Man 3, and You People. I can't do You People. It was like, look at us trying to be edgy for edgy's sake, and like I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know. Be offensive, and I can handle that. Like be like The Hangover or something like that. I'm all in for it. But being edgy and like cute, I don't know. I just wasn't into it. Uh,
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just mediocre, which is weird because I felt like putting Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy together would have been either epic or a huge failure. So for me, middle of the road was all right. I'm all right with it.
yeah,
Man 3, I just don't want to give the time of day. Like I texted you the other day, man, with the end game scene where the Captain America gets Mjolnir, and it's like Marvel can't top that. That's it. That's the end. Like there is nothing that can top that scene at this point. You got rid of the greats. You gave the great story arc. It's just not gonna. It's not in the cards. Which
right.
sucks.
It's a 10+ year culmination of a mat. Like you can't like it's its own thing, but like now that we've seen it and we've like the grand scale of everything, like the entire army's coming down, right? Like holes are opening up, dead characters are coming back on your left, like the snap, like you cannot, I'm sorry, like Batman 89 is my favorite movie of all time. I by default, it's probably my favorite superhero movie, but the best super movie ever made is probably Endgame. And I like you know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. It's a culmination. It's not fair to give it the best movie because it has all this other stuff writing on it. You know what I'm saying? But it is. Like anyway, Scream 7,
That is how you do a third act.
yeah, right? Scream 7, I don't buy the fact that like I could buy that Stu manipulated the first two killers, Richie and Amber. I'll buy that. I'll buy that he got in there, her house or his old house. Like I'll buy him wiggling his way in there. I'll buy him killing Dewey.
Yeah.
I don't buy Matthew Lillard getting into the dad's head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see like the kid's head and maybe the kid. It's just such a stretch. Like the whole, it's just so out there. I don't know. Like maybe there'll be like a got you full circle moment. I just doubt it. I, I don't know. I just the bar's lowered again. Like I don't know. It again, like I said, it's sad when Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 is my favorite horror movie in the past like 2 years. Like I liked X, but it ain't as good as everybody said. I like Pearl, but it's not as good as everybody said, especially when you've already seen X and then you go to Pearl. A lot of the magic of Pearl is lost because you know a lot of the stuff. Watch Pearl first. The Black Phone, solid movie, but it dies out in the third act. Like people are overhyping the piss out of movies and they're just not living up to the grandiose, oh my God, showstoppers.
I don't know. Yeah, I think Texas 2022, Candyman 2021, and Terrifier 2 are all solid entries into their franchises, and I feel like most other things have fallen flat. Like it's just it is what it is, which sucks.
Literally the best, and we talked about this, literally the best horror movie that I think has come out in the past like pandemic time, I think is Invisible Man. Like start to finish, movie solid all the way through. The shot well, acted amazing. Elizabeth Moss is the one of the best actors working today.
I would say that is a solid runner up for me, but I'm gonna go Candyman.
Yeah, I wish Candyman landed more for me. I did like it. I really appreciated everything else. I think if that movie come without the first movie or erase the first movie, I'd like it even more. But we've talked about that. I just they kind of misvibe just a little bit too much for me. I think that with again a little bit tweaking, a little bit more of getting to that DNA. Like again, like when The Shining was shot back in 1982 or 80, like 80, I think, and then you do Doctor Sleep. I don't care that it's been 40 years. I want Doctor Sleep to look and sound like The Shining. I don't give a damn how much time has passed. Don't care. I want
Doctor
to look at that and go, same cinematography, same style.
Doctor Sleep was such a cash grab, and it sucks because like I was totally sold on the idea of revisiting those characters, and then it just like it had some moments, but overall it wasn't good. If you detached it from the Shining universe entirely, it's an interesting plot with the dramatic cast of characters. Like it's not horrible, but it being the follow up to what The Shining is, are you kidding me? Like
It had plot points and powers that came out of nowhere. Like it disregarded some people. Like there was kind of a like the new girl didn't have to work for powers. Like yeah. So hold on real quick. The Cruise Werewolf film was very interesting. I have no idea about that one. That sounds cool. Scanner Cop 1 and 2, Killer Party, The Wraith 86. I need to rewatch that. It's been a long time. I do like The Wraith. Barbarian was okay. Again, fell a little flat in the third act. Psycho Gorman was pleasant. I still need to see Psycho Gorman. Um,
and
yeah,
for when I actually do get to see it. Uh,
yeah.
I had to kill
Well,
my subscription forever ago, so and
yeah.
I'm paying $11.50 for a DVD at Walmart, so I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, real fast, we'll wrap up a couple things real quick. We might have to push. Let's maybe next week we can do rankings on like the
Yeah,
movie, the openings, the closings, the killers. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
a lot of fun rankings we can do maybe next week. But just wanted to get out a lot of thoughts. I have a notepad here real quick. Just want to see if I missed anything. Da 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 da. Mm-hmm. Nope. I think we covered pretty much everything. I'm sure we missed something. We'll get next week, but
Yeah.
better than five. Like, but just for this budget, for this IP, come on, guys.
It's so sad when fan films are taking the world by storm and then the studios are still missing everything.
Yeah.
The other thing is, how much of it really is that, I've stood by this theory that, when we were kids, our parents were all like, oh, to the media that we had. Have we hit that point? Have we hit that age where when we see something new that resembles or is attached to something from our childhood, that we turn our nose up to it because it isn't the same, but then if it is the same, we do it because it didn't do something new. So this is
No, because 2018 Halloween, we both love the original and we both love 2018, so that wouldn't support that.
that wouldn't. But Halloween is different than Scream. Halloween Halloween did a great job of showing what you do right, what you do mediocre, and what you do is garbage. Like in that order. Like it was just like flat out.
That's some truth right there, man.
I wish I could go back to thinking Halloween Kills was as bad as it got.
Oh my god. Like, dude, the bar, like from Scream 5 to Halloween Ends, like the bar has been lowered of like, I cannot believe this trash was made.
Yeah.
Halloween Ends will forever hold the crown though. Like nothing else is like spiraled that far out of control into loony land than that movie. Like,
And what gets me is like everybody who loves the movie is like, oh, it's gonna get Halloween 3 cult status in like 15 years. No, it
never.
won't. It's got some really cool shot scenes. Do not misunderstand me there. It's got some cool shot scenes. It's got some cool kills. The plot is garbage. The complete shift in character story arcs is garbage. The complete lack of respect for your characters is garbage. You cannot best Michael Myers with a 20-year-old kid and expect me to take your movie serious.
Right. Even if he was transferring powers, even if he was weakened, like I'm just, and not only do I not buy it, I don't want to see it.
Especially coming off of Kills, where dude was like the Terminator through the whole thing. He
Right.
couldn't slow down. And I'm sorry, that movie should have slowed him down. If that's the direction you wanted to go, he needed to start slowing down in that movie.
Right. Right. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, man. Like, I,
And everybody gives TCM 3D so much hate.
yeah, no, going back, because I want to explore this for just a second, man, because like, again, like part of my problem with some of this is like, I hear what you're saying, and there is some validity to that. I understand that. But like, when I complain about movies, like it is opinionated, but at the same time, like when I poke holes in plots, like, is it a hole? I'm how many people do you know that like are me that like try to fix plot holes with their own little like, well, but if you look at it this way, if you look at it, I do that a lot because I don't like plot holes. I will try to fix something that shouldn't have to be fixed just so I can like the movie. So it's not me wanting to hate on the movie, but like I always die on is you have this IP. The first movie is legendary. They did a requels to where they were basically deleting everything from the first up into the first movie, right? Like that movie needs to live up to and feel like that first movie. I expect a higher caliber of movie because this movie is one of the best horror movies of all time. Same thing with Halloween, Nightmare. Like, you can't just give me mediocre and accept me that it's okay and then say that it's my fault for being older and having nostalgia.
Yeah. But I do wonder if we have set the bar too high. Like with Halloween, no, I don't think we have because
Not when you're coming off the first movie. Like, if you came off of like Halloween Resurrection, you can do whatever you want because it's bad. You know what I mean? That bar is down here and you're working at this bar. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good. And it just I don't know. Uh, uh, I want to go back to a time where I thought Spiral was the worst thing you could do to a franchise.
Spiral's pretty lazy. But that's the thing is like, Spiral's one of those things where it doesn't do anything to legacy characters. It doesn't do anything to affect the past or the future of the franchise. You can literally take that little guy out and punt him and he doesn't matter. But with stuff like Scream 5, you you have to admit it exists if you like Scream 6. And I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you have to have a stopping point. And for me, the stopping point now is Scream 4. Like in my brain, that's where the franchise ends. Really, the quality ends at 3 for me. Because it has the strongest ties to Maureen. 4 has it, but it's weak. It has a great connection to all the characters.
It is a little on the weak side, but I don't know. We'll talk more about Scream 3 eventually because there's a lot of highs and lows for one movie.
It really is. That third act is strong, though, in my opinion. Like the metal detector and everything else, like the hidden walls, and like it's a great final act. It's a great set. Like I love the third act.
Yeah, it's just
First
weird.
act solid too.
It's weird that, they had a script, they had it ready to go. That's what they were going to film. Then, school shootings became a thing and they were like, we got to scrap that. So we got a new script and this is the script. So like I get how Scream 3 is the movie that we got, but it's just so strange to have one film do this so much throughout the movie to the point that it's almost giving you whiplash. It's weird. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. All in all, so da 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 da. I brain farted so hard. I can't think of anything else new coming out anytime soon. Anything?
Um, there's a couple of movies that I've thought about recently that I'm like, I want to see that. The new John Wick, I'd like to see.
Still need to see 3.
I have no interest in Shazam, especially after hearing what they did to Gal Gadot and just
And Zachary Levi. They screwed him. The Rock and his being a producer of Black Adam allegedly said that he didn't want him in Black Adam. He didn't want to work with him. He was being difficult, and like The Rock single handedly, like he was trying to do good things, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't helping the group. It was just helping The Rock.
yeah. But what's funny is people are acting like this is all new about The Rock, but no, that's how he was throughout his career with wrestling as well. It's very
Right.
very
It's when
well
you
documented that The Rock helps The Rock.
right. It's when you stick him in a franchise, bad things happen. Like stop putting him in franchises, have him in one-off movies, or like he is the main star of his new franchise, but don't put him in there. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It like I just watched Black Adam. It was okay. Like, but the bar in my brain was super low because everybody said it sucked. Once the Rock is on screen and everything else, like the Justice Society, actually pretty cool. Like, I liked it for what it was. I watched Morbius on the plane, and again, lowering the bar. It is a standard beat by beat superhero movie to the T, but it's okay. It's okay. It's, you know what I mean? Like, but again,
We've been watching very different movies recently. You watched those. I watched Ready to Rumble and Scream and The Batman.
I have been wanting to watch the Batman again because I want to love that movie more than I do. Right now, I'm just like, it's okay. Like, and I'm a huge Batman fan. To be fair, though, like I did buy the Bat Cave, the Batmobile, Selena, like all the figures. So, I like that's why I'm redoing my room. So,
Totally stand by the fact that Matt Reeves was like, we're going to do what Christopher Nolan did, but darker. Like that's literally what the Batman is, in my opinion. It's like, how dark can we go?
well, and in some aspects, even more grounded, like Gotham being more of a like a rundown Gotham, like you know what I mean, like a character of a comic. The motorcycle, the changing in between while he's getting around the Batmobile, like
Yeah.
so many aspects of this. Like I don't know, like dude, the cave is cool. Like I don't know, like just some of the like the slow it down and bring it into reality a little bit, like starting off to be Batman. A
Yeah.
lot of it has a lot of greatness to it.
Speaking of the Rock and franchises, I thought that Rampage was supposed to get a bunch of sequels because it was based on the video games. And I don't know
Dude,
what that.
trans like Transformers is a known IP, so it makes money because it's very it's like Tony Stark, right? It's technology, it's hip, it's fun, explosions, go. Rampage is not Jurassic Park. It doesn't have the IP to stand on two legs like that. Like I think it. You have Kong coming out, and you had Godzilla. It feels like a B list to all of that. It didn't have a chance, in my opinion. I haven't even seen it. I own it on 4K.
It was a goofy good time. It wasn't a movie to take. Well, I mean, it's like anything with The Rock recently. It was a goofy good time, and there was nothing to take serious. Like good, shut your brain off, eat popcorn, and chill for an hour and a half kind of movie. Like that. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with those kinds of movies. And I, I feel like when you tell somebody I like movies with The Rock or I like movies with actor X, like they're like, oh well, then defend it with your life. And no, I don't have to defend it. It's not a great movie, but I do enjoy it. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, right. Hey, real fast. I'm sorry. I know we got to get off here, but I bought the Spin Master because I got overexcited and I bought it. It's a 5 pack of comes with so the Spin Masters. They're the 4 inch figures of Batman and whatnot, right? Lower end articulation, but a cool toy. I
Hmm.
bought the 5 pack of the Spin Masters The Flash movie, so it comes with Zod in his chrome armor, which is awesome. He's in
Hmm.
that for most of the movie and in the original movie, so that's cool. Came with Supergirl, awesome. Gonna be a cool addition. I just like the suit, and it's gonna be cool to see a new character. Miss Henry Cavill, but whatever. The Flash in his normal, like updated suit, and then it's got um, a Flash character that we've seen for a while now, but like it's cool to actually see a little bit closer. I don't know if you've looked at it at all, but like in the trailer, there's more than one Barry that goes and sees Michael Keaton's Batman.
Hmm.
Doesn't have a suit, so Michael Keaton gives him a bat suit, shaves the ears down, and paints the suit red. And over the bat symbol, he spray paints the lightning bolt over the. And I, for whatever reason, I freaking love it. It feels like something as a kid you would do. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool toy. It's cool in the movie. It just these stupid little toys have gotten me so hyped for the possibilities of the Flash. I'm out of my mind right now. Like I'm so excited, it's crazy. That new Batwing man in toy version, when you get a good look at it, dope. Oh my god! Like I actually might like that better than the '89 Batwing, and I freaking love that thing.
I don't know, man. My expectations are pretty low. I just when you give Michael Keaton the physics of a Ben Affleck Batman, I kind of tap out because that's not that Batman.
I know I rolled really hard when I saw that too. I was like, why? Why?
Like you don't need him to be that character if you have the Flash and Supergirl. Like you don't.
You need him to be the brains and the dude that goes and takes care of a couple things in the background.
Yeah, you don't need
The
the.
the warehouse scene in Batman vs Superman. He's off doing this thing, regenerating or whatever. I'll go take care of these dudes, right? Like you need him in the background taking care of low end stuff
Yeah,
or technical stuff.
that again shows how Zack Snyder understood his homework assignment on Batman and Superman.
Dude, it kills me that like how like with the old. I think we talked about this last time, and I'm sorry. I know we gotta get up, but like the old Indiana Jones, like the physicality there, like the old fashioned like just boxing, fighting, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The whipping and the shooting and the sword fights, like those all felt legit. Like a normal dude would do this. Like normal people would fight this way. And then we get into this super fantastical crap in their later years with cinematography that doesn't match in the fantastic. Like why can't we have movies that are still somewhat grounded? You know what I'm saying? It just kills me.
I
It,
I think that to get a grounded movie these days, you almost always have to go with a biography, documentary style esque film because everything's got to be so fantastical that it's larger than life. When I feel like lately, for a long time, all the movies were kind of lower than that, far lower, and then we wanted the fantastic, and it goes in these shifts, and I don't know, man. The more and more I think about it, the more I could use a movie like Fire in the Sky to come out. Something with a little bit of fantastical, but just enough to make the film exciting
Right.
and difficult to stop watching without making it to the final act.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's so frustrating though. Like in that first movie, Batman does one fantastical thing in that entire movie, and that's not even really that fantastical. Is the sword fight in the alley? Not really that fantastical.
Yeah.
Like same thing in the next movie. Like the only real fantastical thing, which is not fantastical, is he kicks the crap out of the, like 6 dudes in the streets. Like maybe I'm missing something because I'm just spitballing here, but like I don't know. It is what it is. It's fine. Same thing with Batman Forever. You got a very different Batman. Like in the first opening scene, he's like kicking the crap out of 12 dudes, ninja flipping. Like, just, I get it. But this is Michael Keaton. Go back and watch the source material and make it flow, make it vibe. But anyway, thanks for the new guys that dropped in. Hope you subscribed. We will be back next week. We'll do all the rankings since we didn't have time tonight because that's what we do. We review and we rant. Hey, real fast, what do you give this movie? Go.
I would give Scream 6. We're doing out of 5 or out of 10?
We do out of 10. And how we like to do things here, people, is that if the original movie is a 10, that's how we're going to do this. In a franchise, if the original movie is a 10, what is this movie?
I would give it a 4.5.
Woo! God. Wowzer. Okay. Okay.
What sucks is it felt like it could be a strong 6 or a 7, and then that third act just drug it down so hard that all the work they had achieved just did not matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, missing all the DNA, the stupid plot points, the horrible third act, and wasted characters. I'm actually going to give it. Yeah, I guess I'll give it a 5.5. Like it's one of those things where it is watchable, but it's not up to the legacy. It's not trash, but it's not good. It had potential. And it for that caliber, it just should have landed a lot better. Like I just don't understand. Like again, we talked about it. There's shows that go on multiple seasons that land every season, sometimes multiple episodes. You can't make one movie that lands. What are you doing? Like it's a movie, guys. Like quit acting like it's like stuff that's never been done before. It's been done. Like make it land.
Rocket science.
Right, right. But anyway, thanks again, guys. We'll be back soon. Yeah, check us back out next week so you can get some more R&R. Until next time, bye bye.
Peace.